Good morning, everyone. This is Assistant Professor Saurabh Sharma from Chandigarh Polytechnic College, Hidua, and I will teach surveying one subject to the civil engineering third semester students, and I hope all of the students would understand this subject in a wonderful way by me, because I'm going to make this subject so much interested for them. So in the upcoming slides, I will show the 25 to 30% syllabus, near about 30% syllabus that we are going to cover in this subject surveying one that I'm going to show in the further slides. Please stay online. Okay, so I was talking about the introduction. So what we are going to cover in the surveying one. So let's start with the introduction. The surveying one is the subject that is the very basic subject for the civil engineers. For example, especially for the diploma civil engineers, if any construction work starts, whether it's a building, whether it's a dam, whether it's a highway, whether it's a flyover or any construction work, before the starting of any construction work, one thing is required, that is to level the surface of that particular structure. So leveling, it's not about only the leveling, it means a lot. It's about the taking angles, taking observations, the proper leveling of the ground surface, the height, the depth of the ground surface that we need to see in this subject. So that is what about the what we call that the relative height or the relative depth of the ground that we need to level in the survey one subject. And what else we need to do in this subject, that is the measurement. I hope all of the students are aware about the measurements. The measurements is a very important part in this subject. The measurements means the how do you take the units on the ground, how do you take the measurements on the ground, that depends upon the units. For example, the SI unit, the second is the FPS, and the third is the CGS system. The SI means the units like the Newton meter, and the CGS means centigram second, and the FPS means foot pound seconds. These are the units. Three types of the unit systems have been developed. So before moving further in the introduction, I would like to tell a little more about the units, like the basic scales readings. I would tell you in this video that what are the basic scale readings. Like in 1 meter, we have the 100 centimeter. I hope all of you know about that, but still it's my responsibility to tell you that at least you are aware about that these all scale readings. 1 meter is equal to the 100 centimeters. 1 meter is equal to the 100 centimeters. 1 centimeter is equal to the 10 mm. 1 inch is equal to the 2.54 centimeter. And if you look at the 1 centimeter is equal to 10 mm. The 1 foot, what is 1 foot? 1 foot is equal to the 12 inches. Okay, so 1 foot is equal to the 12 inches. Then how many centimeter there are in 1 foot? 1 foot is equal to the 300 mm or 30 centimeters. So 1 foot is equal to the 300 mm or 30 centimeter. If you look at the scale, there is a 30 centimeter scale you use in the engineering drawing. That there is a drawing portion you must have studied in the previous semester. So you have been using a drawing scale which dimensions is the 30 centimeter. Okay, so 15 centimeter means 6 inches, 30 centimeter means 12 inches. So this was all about the units that we need to see in this change and this subjects, because without knowing about the units, we cannot move further on. So what are the chapters that we are going to cover in this survey one subject? That the first chapter is the chain survey. What is the chain survey? So obviously, as the name clarifies, this is a chain, steel tape, a chain, a metallic chain is used for measuring the ground surface. You use what is the I will tell the what is the principle behind the chain survey. That is the triangulation method. The triangulation method is the principle that is used for the chain survey. Triangulation means you make a triangle. Okay, like the Pythagoras theorem, you must have studied about the Pythagoras. The perpendicular square plus base square is equal to the hypotenuse square. So the Pythagoras theorem is being used in the that triangulation method. The triangulation method, the base is the Pythagoras, and that is being used in the chain survey. Okay, got it. And the next is the compass survey. What is the compass survey? So the compass survey means simply the compass which you need to cover. There are two types of the compass that we will be studying in this subject. that is the prismatic compass, and the second is the surveyor compass. The prismatic compass means a prism reading would be taken, and the surveyor compass, that is there will be no prism in the surveyor compass, and the both the calculation, the whole circle bearing, the reduced bearing, all these types of the things we will be covering in this compass survey. And the next is the leveling, the auto level and the dumpy level. The auto level means you need to take the reduced level of the ground surface with the help of the staff, and the dumpy level, you can rotate the dumpy level in 360-degree angle. No, but you can rotate the auto level in 360-degree angle. The dumpy level is fixed on one position, but the auto level is not fixed on one position. You can rotate the auto level into 360-degree position, okay, but dumpy level is fixed in the one position. That is the difference between the auto level and the dumpy level that is used in the leveling. With the auto level and the dumpy level, you also require a staff. So there is a 4-meter staff, a white color rod, simply on which the graduations are mentioned. The length of this rod is 4 meter, and the graduations are mentioned in the meter, and of course there are the minute dimensions as well, like the 5 mm, 10 mm, by which we take the distance, the depth and the height of the ground when we are surveying on the ground with the auto level or dumpy level. Okay, leveling. So this was what about the leveling. So next is the plane table survey. What is the plane table survey? So plane table survey is like a plane would be given to you, and there are several equipments with the plane table, like the LE will be provided. After LE we have okay, the ranging rods are provided. So these are the things which are needed in the plane table. With the plane table, this is a okay, the field work and the office work are done simultaneously in the plane table survey. This is the one of the most good advantage of this plane table survey. Okay, so in the further slides, moving on. So what is the importance of studying this subject? As already I have told you, the important functions of a diploma civil engineer includes the jobs of detailed surveying, plotting of a survey data, preparation of a survey maps, and setting out works. While framing the curriculum for the subject of surveying, stress has been given to the development of skill in each type of survey, like chain surveying, compass surveying level that the civil engineering diploma holder will normally be called upon to perform, and plane table surveying. And field work should be selected once so that student can check his work and have an idea of the results, the extent of error in the work done by him. As far as possible, the surveys done should be got plotted, as this will also reveal the error in the work and develop skill in the plotting. Okay, so this was what the importance of the surveying. Simply in the simple language, if I will talk about before starting of any construction, you need to level the ground. That is what all about the survey. Okay. So in the further introduction, I am telling you about the basic principles of the surveying. What are the basic principles of surveying? The first one I will talk about, that is the concept. Okay, the purpose of surveying. So what is the concept of surveying? There is a whole to part and the part to whole. That is the principle of the survey that we need to know. What is the whole to part? If we look at the whole to part survey, see, if I give you a map, okay, then there is a specified boundary on that particular map. But if I give you a ground and I don't mention that this is the particular boundary of the ground, then what you need to do? If I don't give you the boundary, then what will you do? Then you cannot measure the particular dimension, and you cannot construct the particular rooms, the washroom, kitchen in the particular building. Okay, so you need to get a particular boundary. After getting that boundary, you need to mention the particular sizes, like the you are constructing your own home, for example. Then first you need like the 30 by 30 square feet, the area of your home. Then you need to convert that particular area into the rooms and the kitchen and the washroom. That will happen only in the case of the whole to part. You have the whole boundary, and then you divided that into the part. That is the whole to part. What do you mean by the whole to part? That is the basic principles of this surveying that we are going to study in this subject. And the next is the part to whole. Part to whole, simply we don't use the part to whole the survey. That is very difficult procedure if you are going to follow the part to whole method in the survey. Okay, so we use only the whole to part method. So what are the units of measurement? That I have already told you, that the SI units, the FPS units, found to foot pound second, and this is a centigram second units. So what are the measurements? Linear measurements, that is the meter, centimeter, and the decimeter. These are the linear measurements. And the angular measurements. What are the angular measurements? Like if you are seeing over here, what are the angular measurements? Angular measurements are the angle taken. The angle are usually taken with the compass survey, the theodolite, the tachometer survey. These are the instruments which are used to take the angles of the buildings, angles of the ground. Okay, so this is the angular measurement that we need to know, that is taken in the radian, that is taken in the okay. There are various methods like the whole circle bearing and the reduced bearing that are used for the this particular method, angular survey. So what is the next instrument used for taking this measurement and the classification based on see here the instrument used for taking these measurements? What are the instruments? Like in the chain survey we need chain, and in chain survey we need the ranging rod as well, we need the arrows, we need tape as well. There are various types of the tape, like the metallic tape, like cloth tape, the steel tape, and the invert tape. These are the various form of the tapes that we required in this subject. Okay, so this is the chain survey and the instruments required in the chain survey. So what are the instruments required in the compass survey? Compass survey, you must have seen when the army people, soldiers go into the hilly areas, then they usually have the tripod stand, and usually they have the no tripod stand. They usually have the compass on their hand, in their hand, so that they can follow the directions of the mountains or the hilly area or the location, like north direction, south direction. So that is what we need to know about the compass survey. So that is all about the compass survey. Okay, so this was what about the compass survey. So next, what is the purpose of the compass survey, the use of compass survey, and we will also be studying about the meridian. The meridian is a very important thing. The meridian, as you must be seeing the latitude and the longitude of the earth. If you look at the latitude is the from west to east. If for example I have an earth globe, if you move from west to east, that is the latitude, and if you move from north to south pole, that is the longitude. Okay, so these are the things that we need to know, that latitude and the longitude in the this magnetic meridian and the meridian, because we are going to take the angles as per the latitudes and the longitudes only. The bearings have been the bearings. The whole circle bearing means the angles would be taken from 0 degree to 360 degree. And what is the reduced bearing? That means the quadrant. The four quadrants have been made in the reduced bearing, that is 0 to 90 degree, 90 to 180 degree, and 180 to 270 degree, 270 degree to 360 degree. The 360 degree has been divided into four parts. That is the reduced bearing. So you are going to take the angles in case of reduced bearing like that. This was what about the reduced bearing I was talking about. So the more things you will studying in this the compass survey, that is the forebearing and the back bearing. If you are taking the angles in the forward direction, that means the forebearing, and if you are taking the direction in the backward direction, that means the back bearing. This is what all about the bearing. Bearing simply means the angle. The angle you are going to take taking on this side, that means the bearing. Clear? And what is the magnetic dip and the declination? If you look at the magnetic dip, it is a simply declination towards the latitude. Okay, if you look at, I will tell in the further lectures in the detail. So we will also study about the local attraction, the causes, detection, error, corrections, problems on local attraction, that means numerical. We are going to study on the local attraction, the magnetic declination, the calculation of included angles in a compass traverse, the calculations we will be studying about the calculations. And the next chapter in the leveling, what we will be studying in the leveling, the purpose of the leveling, why we are studying the leveling, why we need the leveling. Okay, because if the surface of the ground is not leveled properly, then we cannot start the construction further. This was what all about. We need to do the leveling before starting any construction work. Okay, so this was what about the reduced level and the bench. Reduced level, what is reduced level? This is simply the height or depth of the ground surface that we call as the reduced level. What are the benchmarks? The height above the mean sea level, that is known as the benchmark. So various parts of the dumpy level, like there is a telescope, like there are the foot screws, like there are the tightening screws that are available on the dumpy level and the auto level as well. So what are the advantages of the auto level, disadvantages of the auto level? What are the advantages? The advantages of the auto level, the like you can rotate it in the 360-degree angle. You can take the angles from 0 to 360 degree. There is a no need to uh, fix on one position. If you fix on one position the auto level, you can rotate the auto level in the several directions as well, so standing on one station only. So before moving further, I will also tell you that the station. What is the station? The when you fix a tripod stand on a particular point, that becomes the station for that. Uh, that becomes the station for that particular area. Okay. So this was about the station. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm getting cough. So this was all the things that we are going to study in the leveling. These are the practicals: change survey, compass survey, leveling, plane table survey, layout of the buildings that we are going to cover in this subject. These are the books that you can follow in this subject. That is the book that I will refer you. That is the BC Punmia and the CL Kocher book. You can refer the CL Kocher book for the surveying one subject. This is one of the good book. I will suggest you to buy. If you have any query, you can call me, and you can text me anytime by mail or WhatsApp. And if I hope you have understand the introduction very well. Thank you so much.